Stop blaming the developers. Well, actually, do blame the developers for having a weird condition for deciding to get a job in the games industry. You really do have to be pretty stupid to put yourself through that. But guys, players and fans of games really need to stop attacking the developers. And I'm going to explain why in this video. But first of all, welcome to all the new subscribers. Thank you to people that have subscribed, and thank you to people that click the like button. Let's see if we can get to 1,000 likes on this so I can see if this helps the video. I don't think it does, but thank you everyone that supported the channel. You've sharpened your pitchfork, you've got your torch, you're ready to march onto the developers and demand that things be better. And it seems like I'm telling you to put them back in the garden shed and calm down. Now, I'm not. I think players should be very annoyed, should be very vocal, and it's perfectly right for them to be frustrated with the current state of games as they're releasing over the last 5 or 6 years, if not longer, where players are treated like alpha testers, with games releasing with game-breaking crashes, stutter, bugs, AI issues, just stuff that would in the past have been detected by a QA department and would not be acceptable in the launch version of the game. I mean, if you're printing stuff onto a CD, it has to be better, especially if people don't have internet. And if you're putting it on a cartridge back in the olden days, well, you're not going to reprint those chips cheaply, so they've got to get it right the first time. But crucially, the anger, the frustration and the annoyance of the current state of modern games should not be directed at the developer, or more specifically, should not be directed at the people actually doing the work on the ground. Programmers, artists, anybody that's really actually doing the work. Because pretty much universally in the games industry, they are working really bloody hard, they're very talented, and almost always when there's something bad in a computer game, especially games that are published by larger publishers and involve larger dev teams, almost always the reason it's bad is because someone at the top end, at the high end of the chain, someone that doesn't understand the art of video games, who has no real knowledge of the history of a specific genre or just gameplay, design, or what is good or bad when it comes to video games. Someone that is completely devoid of feeling. Think estate agent, but of the games industry. Someone like that is making the big decisions. And even worse, those people are often informed and pushed by shareholders or other business interests who, again, do not really know anything about the actual art or soul of what is being produced, and are merely bean counting, and even worse, bean counting based off short-term quarterly growth and profits, rather than healthy, long-term, sustainable business thinking. So being angry and annoyed at the people on the ground that are actually doing really good work and don't normally have share options in these companies, so don't actually profit from the work that they're doing, and often aren't paid that highly relative to the skill set that they have and the amount of time that they're putting into the projects. Being angry at those people and annoyed and attacking them, especially attacking them directly, is one of the most monumentally stupid and idiotic things that consumers of games have been doing to vent their frustration. Instead, the frustration has to be leveraged, vented and constructively put to the actual publishers and to the overall sort of development lead side of things. I don't think, even with the soulless estate agent like nature of the project owners and the publishers, I don't think being mean is ever going to be constructive anyway, or angry or threatening. You should always still be constructive. But if you are wanting to alleviate, like a stress ball, some of the pressure you're feeling, you need to target it at those publishers. And the more pressure and the more vocal people are about clearly stating, these are game breaking bugs, this isn't acceptable, I'm not going to buy the game, even though people probably still will buy the game, so they won't change, nothing will happen, but let's just put that to one side. If you are vocal still, even after buying the game, and you do put that out, and you do put a lot of negative reviews out, that does actually put a little bit of pressure on the bean counters, because it will still affect sales ultimately, and it does also put pressure on them to keep working on the title or to change the direction of how the development goes in the future. But yeah, the focus of the ire needs to not be on the people on the ground that are working themselves to the bone, but the focus needs to be on the decisions made at the top. And again, on that sort of subject of short-term business thinking versus long-term business thinking, the big irony is that the Dirt Rally series of games, and in particular the very first Dirt Rally game from Codemasters, which have ended up being very successful, especially relative to the development budget and size of team working on it, was a result specifically of the developer not micromanaging and allowing passionate, very talented people to work on a project without too much interference and without too much focus on ticking off arbitrary boardroom design executive decisions. It turns out if you allow passionate people to make a game, give them a bit of budget and a bit of freedom, they produce really good stuff that in the long term makes a bloody good amount of money and allows you to sell your game studio to EA, who then do the EA thing. So really, ultimately, what I'm saying is if you want to be happy, you just need to microwave your brain, which incidentally is what I think a lot of players of games have done, based off comments that I read on the Forza Motorsport review and some of the comments I've read on our EA WRC review and just in general online. I do think there's been a lot of brain microwaving going on, a severe lack of critical thinking, and just anodyne, vapid acceptance of anything. The kids these days, guys, they don't know. They never had a Commodore 64. They never loaded a tape and had it fail after 14 years of waiting for it to load. Oh, those were the days. It's not that bad. It has got better. Look, some things have got better. It's not all terrible, but it's the potential you can see. It's the publishers shooting themselves in the foot, the misdirection of anger. Everything's a mess. At least we can drink tea and cry ourselves to sleep. If you like to cry yourself to sleep, remember we do live stream as well on here and also on Twitch, and I'm also on like TikTok, Hulu Plus. We're everywhere. We're all over the internet. So follow us on all those things if you want to support us, or don't. Probably better not to be honest. Thanks for watching this. Until the next one, happy tea drinking. Incidentally, you can tea drink from the Game of Muscle official merch mug. There's a link to it somewhere. Happy tea drinking. Take care and goodbye, guys.